Are you new to RanchHand and you just want to change some basic information on an animal? Well, you can find that on the first few tabs of the animal detail screen. Hi, I'm Mark with RanchHand. In this video, we will cover the first 4 tabs of the animal detail screen: General, Traits, Bull or Cow Info, and Calfhood. There are many other tabs, but this will cover the basic data for an animal. Let's get started. I'm going to be using the sample data set if you'd like to follow along. It just has pre-populated data in there. If you don't have one already, there's a video just on creating the sample data set, and it just allows you to kind of follow along and see the same data that I'm looking at. It helps when viewing the videos. I'm going to start out by going to the animal grid. Let's filter on cows, and I'm going to pick 8023 Maxine. And we see our animal detail screen, which is all of the information for the animal, and it's broken into different sections. You can get to each one through the tabs at the top here. We're just going to go over these first 4 here: the general info, traits, cow info, or calfhood. So the first tab that we have is the general info tab. We have various identifications here: animal ID, name, registration number, etc. Only the animal ID is required. The others could be blank if you didn't have something to put in there, but you must have a unique number for the animal ID, and that's unique for any animal in the data set, even if it's an inactive reference animal. Every animal in that data set has to have a unique identification, but this can be alphanumeric, any combination of numbers and letters here. Next, we have the current statuses. The status of the animal, the location, the herd, whether or not it's active. And the location is the other field that is required. So there's only 2 required fields for any given animal. The minimum that you have to put in is an animal ID and a location. However, the location is only required if the animal is active. And then we just have some basic information on the birth of the animal, the sire, the dam. You'll notice these buttons to the side here, these drop downs. These are jump buttons, and they take you directly to that record. So in this case, we have sire 94, and if I click the jump button, I'm going to go to the animal detail of 94, and we can see that just covered up where we were. We can see Maxine's right behind there. This takes you right to the animal detail of that. If you cancel this, we can go back, but it's a shortcut method to go to one of these other records, so you don't have to leave where you currently are. Next, also, you can certainly click this drop down and pick the animal that's, in this case, the dam, but you can also do an incremental search. And notice in this list, I had, let's say 2013 and 2024. So if I just start typing, it finds the first one that starts with a 2 there. I do a 0, it's still 2013, but when I put a 2 in, it finds that 2024. And that's a quick way to put that in. If I put something, I'm going to put a 5 here. And that was not in the list, and so it knows that, and so I want to add, I can add a new animal if I'd like to, just by hitting enter here. But I'm going to cancel that and move on. And I did want to show you that when you're saving, go back, I'm going to take out the ID, and I'm going to take out the location. And then when I hit save, it will complain that there's no animal ID or no location. If I hit close, the red marks where those are, so you can easily see those. Finally, on this tab, I did want to show down in the lower right, there's the help button there. And if you click that help button, it brings up additional information on that page. You can go down and look at details on every single field. Now let's move on to the Traits tab. The Traits tab has 2 groups of fields: physical fields such as color, horn status, body condition, and then also any kind of brand or markings on the animal. You can change the color over in settings. These others, you cannot change these. They just use the BIF guidelines. Next up, the Cow Info tab. The Cow Info tab has fields that are cow specific. Udder suspension, teat size, and embryo transfer data here. This is coming soon. As you might imagine, there is then a info for bull info if it happens to be a bull. So let me get out of here and bring up a bull. And let's try 5389. And you can see now I have bull info instead of cow info. Again, we have bull specific, we have scrotal measurements, and we have semen data here. Let me pull up an AI bull and show a couple semen records here. Let me close out of here and let me show some inactive animals for my AI bulls. And let's bring up 333 Fire Chief. And we go into bull info and we can see that it lists the semen records for that AI bull. Note that if we have a calf, we don't have a bull or a cow info tab. If I had a calf here, let's bring up a calf. I'm going to go back to active. Bring up A93. We go right from traits over to calfhood. We do not have a cow or bull info in this case. Finally, we have the Calfhood tab, where we have a single convenient place for birth, weaning, and yearling data. Now you'll notice that some of these fields you can't type in, such as the weaning weight, and that's because the actual measurements were put in on the Measurements tab. The Calfhood tab kind of summarizes everything here, gives you kind of one place to have all of this data from a convenience standpoint. There are fields here that you can change that are not grayed out, such as birth date, origin, things of that nature. You may have noticed that a couple of these fields actually were on the General Info tab. Take birth date, for example. We go back to General, their birth date was there. And so the question comes up, where should I change this? Well, it doesn't matter. They're both linked together. So if I were to go in on the General tab, change this from October 20th to the 21st, go back to Calfhood, it's immediately updated there. So it always reflects the latest changes. Those are linked together. And you really doesn't matter where you change that. If it does let you change it, it'll all be linked together. One final thing I want to talk about would be there are a number of tabs up here, and sometimes these tabs don't all fit up on the top. And that's why we have the all tabs here. So you can see every possible tab. But sometimes when you click on these, let's say we're on the pedigree, you look up here and you say, oh, wait, where's my general info tab? I don't see that. If you don't see that, you can't scroll left and right, but you can go up to all tabs and then general info will be at the top, and click that and bring that back. So just if you don't see a tab up there, just remember to click on the all tabs. If you found this video helpful, I would next suggest the Using the Breeding tab video. Thank you for watching, and I hope this helps.